Shaul initially tries to put him off it, saying he won't be able to because he is much more experienced, he's a man much bigger, stronger, and with all your good name, he's really goes before him, he won't be able to succeed. So David says, why not? When I was attacked by the lion and the bear, I managed to push away both of them and save the sheep from the mouth of the lion and chased after the lion and hit it and killed it, and I killed both the lion and the bear, so therefore Hashem will help me just like he helped me then. And there's no reason why Hashem should be on the side of the Philistine, because he has cursed the armies of the living God, and therefore clearly God will help me, and I have nothing to be scared of. Okay, that was possibly Lamed Ches. Vayalbesh Shaul es David Madov, and Shaul clothed. El Malbush is a article of clothing. A beged is also. I think a beged is usually a lower undergarment. This is something that goes on top. So I think there's also the word kesus, which means something covers you, which is an outer garment. You can have three types. You can have like a coat, and you can have a shirt, and you can have underclothes. So this is something in between. Mayalbesh, Shaul, not Shaul wore, but Shaul clothed. He caused David to be clothed. Mayalbesh, right? Es David, Madov. Madov is usually translated as his uniform, like a soldier's uniform. Better word, what's the word soldiers wear?
Uniform.
That's what they wear, right? So the word Madov is the word midah, meaning a measurement, because it's made to measure. Something that fits you.
It's fatigues.
Right? But here it means specifically his army clothes, because David wasn't dressed for war. David was a shepherd. So even though he was Shaul's armor bearer, right, it wasn't at this point in time, because he'd gone home and now he's just on a message to bring provisions to his brothers. So he was wearing his walking clothes, not suddenly ready to go out and fight. So Shaul gave him his own Madov, his uniform, meaning with his helmet or his whatever Shaul would have worn out if Shaul was going out to battle. He gave them to David, and he says, he gave him a copper hat.
Koiva's hat.
Yeah.
I'll rush it for his head.
On his head. Just a minute. Yes, I thought so. It's usually spelled with a kaf, not with a kuf. Here, if you look beforehand in Pasuk Hey, where we see that Goliath on page 47, he has a copper hat. There spelled with a kaf. In Kovak. That's how it's usually spelled. I don't know why it's spelled with a kuf here. It's a bit strange. You'd have a tab. I'd have to check it out. That's one there. That's a chumash. It's no good.
Usually a chair with a bunch of books.
Where are you looking for
Tanach.
Yeah. Do yours?
Do you have a printed Tanach there?
Hold on, let me go grab my Tanach from downstairs.
Strange. With a kuf, it's from the word to fix. But what else would it mean? It must mean he had on his head. What else you put on his head is a helmet. Very strange. Oh, all right. Yalbesh oisoi Shiur, and he also clothed him in armor. Yeah, that word beforehand. That was one of the things that Goliath was wearing. He was wearing armor which was made of, remember, scales.
Yeah.
Like so,
chain
mail. Whether Shaul's was, I don't know. Anyway, so he wore armor, ready to fight. The Yachtor David es Charubai. And David.
It's the first one.
Thank you.
Oh, first one.
Here is it.
It's a little small.
Okay. Chapter
No, it's right there. Page.
17. That's what it says. Now it says translated the helmet. Well, very interesting. It's also translated as a helmet. Helmet. Okay, so I don't know. Once it's with a calf, and it's a completely different word. We Ashkenazim pronounce them similar. Sfarim also pronounce them similar. A calf and a kuf, but they're not meant to sound the same.
What's the numerical value of kuf?
What's the Shem's name in it? Don't fall.
100 or
A
20.
No,
kuf
calf.
100.
Calf?
Calf is 20, a kuf is 100. Okay, all right. So he's wearing his armor. Then what did David do? David belted. Yachgor is from the word chagura. Chagura is a belt. So he belted up. What did he belt? Escharbai, his sword. Whose sword? David had a sword? Could be. Maybe it was Shaul's sword. I don't know. But it looks like that David did this. So Shaul clothed David in his helmet and in his armor. And David girdled, tied his sword, me'alemadav, on top of his uniform. By Yoel laleches. Now the word Yoel usually means to agree. Now here it means to agree to go means he tried to go. He tried to go. Said, okay, let's go, ready to fight. Ki lo nisa, because he wasn't tested. Nisa is like the word nisayon. Means he wasn't used to doing this. He wasn't used to fighting with armor.
Yeah.
The fights that he'd had that we know of
Yeah.
are his fighting against lions and bears. For that he didn't need or didn't have armor. So although he tried to put the armor on,
Did he even have a
and he
sword?
tried to go, well, he was Shaul's armor bearer, so he might have had a sword, but it might have been Shaul's
I'm
sword.
saying when he was attacking.
Oh no,
said I
he used
held
his
a spear
hands.
and I had a-
No, he didn't have anything.
Yeah,
he hit the lion. He pulled the lion by its beard and hit it.
Tested.
Right? Ki lo nisa. He wasn't used to doing this. Right? When you test something, you want to get used to seeing whether you can get used to it. So he tried to go, but he wasn't used to it. Now it looks like you have to add into the story that he wasn't successful. He tried going in this clumsy gear, and he didn't manage. Yeah?
Right.
But it doesn't actually say that in the story, that he didn't manage. The bit that he didn't, it says, by Yoel. By Yoel doesn't mean he tried unsuccessfully. It doesn't mean he agreed unsuccessfully. The word unsuccessfully is not written, right? It says he tried to go because he wasn't used to it. Well, because he wasn't used to it, that's why he was unsuccessful. Maybe it doesn't say he was unsuccessful. It sounds like he tried to do it because he was not used to it. So I'll give it a try, right? But then the unsuccessful is not written in the story, and you'd think that bit would be in the story. That's the usual simple way to read it. He tried, he agreed to try it out because he wasn't tested. He hadn't tried and tested this method of wearing uniform, but it wasn't successful. It was too difficult. What did he do? David el Shaul, lo uchal laleches ba'ele. I can't go with these. Ki lo nisisi, because I'm not tried, means I'm not used to it. Like siren, David me'alav, and David removed them from upon him. So he tried, he wasn't successful in his try, so he said to Shaul, I have to take it off because I'm just can't get used to this. I mean, I don't know how long he tried to get used to it for, 2 minutes. You put a new pair of shoes on for 2 minutes. They're stiff, right? You have to go out and after a while get used to it. So how long does David think he's going to take him to get used to this?
When did you say he takes it off?
Also, they're broken.
He says, Vayesirein, and he removed them from upon him.
Also, it's not like they're brand new.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean because they're new. His problem is not that they're new.
I know it's not used to wearing.
He's not used to wearing armor, so he this is not going to help me in fighting,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Where's removed?
The word Yasir, Vayesirein, and he removed them. The mem The word is sur. Sur meira means to turn away. So he took it off him, took them off him, may Allah from upon him. So that's a serious problem with this story. That what did David think? He thought, I'll try to get used to them. He didn't get used to them. How long does he give himself? It doesn't say he didn't get used to them. It didn't say he didn't manage. How long did he try it out for? Like, what is David thinking? Try out. You see, what's even more problematic is that how does David expect to be able to wear Shaul's armor? Isn't Shaul much taller than everybody else?
Right.
So, especially as the word madov, which actually means made to measure, it's not going to, of course it's not going to fit you. What do you think? Okay, it'll look a bit clumsy, he'll be there with this male, which in most people goes down to their knees and David goes down to his ankles. Could be. No, a hat size, just because you're taller doesn't give you a bigger head, right? So, okay, it's a bit strange. Okay, but that's just one point I want to point out in the story as we go along, strange things that are going to happen along.
What does Shaul think is going to work? Because it says Shaul clothing.
No, Shaul already said in the previous passage, as soon as David said that he reported that he had been managed with God's help to kill the lion and the bear, and so Shaul says, well, you're right, if God helps you.
Why does he give him his armor? Why doesn't he tell one of the guys who's like a similar build?
Oh, that was my question.
Yeah.
That was my question, right.
Well, it's not really like what's David thinking, but it's his first time at work.
Yeah, well, it's a question on all of them, right? It's a question on all of them. So it could be that the others weren't armed, right? It could be just like Goliath has this super armor, Shaul has this super armor, and most men fought armed, but not with armor, right? So the only one who has armor is Shaul, and it'll be a bit big for him. Okay, but it's better than nothing. If you're going to go out to fight this guy, you need the armor. So God tries it out, doesn't work, and removes it. Okay, that's how we'll learn the story in the meantime, right? There's going to be problems as we go along, but I want to point out to you, it's not a simple way to read the story. So it doesn't say it didn't work, it just said David said, I don't want it. Vayikach maklo b'yodav. So he took his stick in his hand. It means David took his stick because he's a shepherd, right? Shepherds have sticks for hitting the dogs or the sheep to get them to move straight. Move on. Vayivchar loy, vayivchar, and he chose. He chose us from all the nations. He chose for himself 5 chalukei avanim, 5 smooth stones. Where do you get smooth stones from? From a river. Presumably there's a river here somewhere, some stream, and in the river there'll be smooth stones. Min ha-nachal, from the nachal. Nachal can mean a river, or it can mean a wadi. Okay, here it's got water in it because otherwise they wouldn't be smooth. Now, Yasem oisam, and he placed them, meaning the 5 stones, bikli haroim, in the shepherd utensil. Means shepherds had some type of pouch, some type of knapsack, which they carry their lunch with them, whatever. So he put his stones, his 5 stones, into this shepherd utensil. Ashelo, which was his, uba yalkut, and in the Yalkut. Anyone know what the word Yalkut means? You've heard of Yalkut Shimoni or Yalkut Yosef?
Yeah.
What's Yalkut Yosef mean? It's the name of the
Collection.
book. Collection, very good. The word Yalkut is something you collect things in. So in modern Hebrew, kids go to school with their Yalkut. Yalkut is a satchel. Backpack, right. It's something you can put lots of different things. You put your book and you put your shoes, all the things called a Yalkut, where you put together. So a Yalkut Yosef is a collection that Rabbi Yosef put together, and he published this book called the Yalkut Yosef. So a Yalkut seems to be a bigger, so you've got a little pouch, which you keep your sandwiches in, which goes into a bigger bag called the Yalkut, and he put his stones into the small pouch, into his Yalkut. V'kal'o b'yado, and his slingshot. Kela is a slingshot. Right? Slingshot is a piece of leather, right, which has a small place to put stone in, and you close it, and then you go wee, and you leave go one side, and the stone comes out. Okay? Uve kal'o, and his slingshot b'yado, in his hand. Yigash el ha-plishti. He drew near the Philistine. That was walking out there towards the Philistine. Vayelech ha-plishti ha-holech v'karev, and the Plishti goes, going and getting closer. So the Plishti is also coming towards. Vayelech HaPelishti, the Pelishti went. Holech v'karev means going and getting closer. He's going and closer and closer towards David. V'karev el David. Sorry, Holech v'karev el David, getting closer as he walks to David. V'ha'Aish, and this man, which man? Not the Philistine, different man. Nosei hatzina, carrying his shield. Lefanav, in front of him. We mentioned that he has a guy who carries a big shield which protects him on three sides. It's called a tzina as opposed to a magen. Right? It's a big shield that protects him in front of him. Vayabeit haplishti. The Philistine looked. Now, it doesn't just mean to look in the sense to see. It means to stare. Because he's what's going on.
What's bait?
Vayabeit means, and he looks, but he looked to focus on something, right? He looks in the distance and he sees this little fellow, right, unarmed with a stick, and he's coming to fight the Philistines. Like, what is going? What they say? What the hell is going on here? Like, what's going on? What am I? Right? Vayireh es David, and he saw David. Vayivzehu, and he despised him, means he cursed him. Ki hayanar, because he was a young lad, not so young, but inexperienced. Va'admoni, and he was red. So I suppose in Goliath's experience, he hadn't ever had to fight redheads before. Redheads didn't make good fighters, apparently. Sorry. I don't know. Although I heard someone said the opposite. It said that although he was a Na'ar, Goliath says, maybe he's coming to fight because he's a redhead. Redheads are all heated up, and therefore it's on the. It shows him saying, why is he coming out to fight me? He's just a Na'ar. Maybe it's because he's a redhead, right? But that's not a simple way to read it. A simple way to read it. These are both reasons to be disgusted with this guy coming to him. Like, who is this guy? He's just a kid, so gingy, right? Im Yefei Mare, handsome. This young, handsome gingy, like Eliezer, right?
That I can relate to.
Right? Right? Like, these look like these are three reasons why you wouldn't expect this guy to be fighting.
Which, if
He should be a model, this guy, What's he doing fighting? Yeah?
If Faye's handsome or Mara?
Yefei. Yefei is beautiful. Mare of appearance.
Oh, it's Yefei.
Yefei, right. So the reason why it says Yefei, because it's the construct. Yefei Mare, a beautiful appearance. It's completely out of character. Soldiers are big, big, gruff faces with, with big lines, cut marks, and that sort of thing, right? You know, this handsome guy should be a film star. What's he doing fighting Goliath? Okay. David. Now I have to realize these two people are related. Okay? David's great grandmother was called Rus, and Goliath's mother was called Arpa. Rus and Arpa were sisters. So it means David was his first cousin twice removed from Goliath. Goliath, it's not clear in the story here, but later on, at the end of Shmuel base, it's mentioned a woman called Arpa, and she has 4 children, all of them who are giants. One of them is Goliath. So, and Orpah was Ruth's sister from the Book of Ruth. Okay, so David and Goliath are somewhat related. It's David's great grandmother and his mother were sisters. Okay, I don't know if he knows that. I don't know if either of them know that. We know that because we know the story. I wouldn't do that. Oi, right? David. Hakelev anoichi. What does that mean?
Am I a dog?
Am I a dog? Hey, there's a question, right? Because it's got chater pater, and there's no dot in the word kelev. Hachelev anoichi? Am I a dog? Ki ata bo elai, that you come to me b'maklot, with sticks. Dogs, you attack with sticks. Me, you have to attack with weapons, not with a stick. What am I, a dog? Vayikalel hapelishti, David. So the Philistine cursed David. I suppose this has been censored. We don't really want to know what he said, right? It's not fit for little Jewish boys reading this. So it just says he cursed him, Baal using his gods. It means he cursed him by his own gods. My God should do this X, Y, Z. Okay. Now, David. And that tells you what is acceptable for us to hear. Or maybe this is a curse, but I don't think so. Vayema Plishti el David. Lecha, which means, Eli, come to me. Come here. Ve'etne es besarcha la'oif hashamayim. And I will give. Like etna, the aleph is I, chain, I will give es besarcha, your flesh. La'oif hashamayim, to the birds of the heavens. Ulevehemas hasadeh, and the animals of the field. That's what I'm going to do with you. I'm going to take you and feed you to the birds and to the animals. That doesn't sound like he's cursing him with his gods. He's just telling him what he's going to do with him. I think he cursed to the gods as being missed out, I think.
And the animals are the what?
Of the field. Sadeh is a field. So, to my cow, to my horse, to my vulture, that's what I'm going to give them for lunch after I finish with you. David replied, or he said to the Philistine, Ata ba'elai, you come to me, becherev, with a sword, ubechanis, and with a spear, ubekidon, and a javelin, some other type of weapon. Va'anoichi, that's how you attack me. Va'anoichi ba'elecha, I come to you, b'shem Hashem tzvakot elokei ma'archot Yisrael. I come to you with the name of God of the legions, the God of the formations of Israel. Asher cherafta, that you have blasphemed. The God that you have blasphemed, he's the one who's going to help me, and that's all I need to defeat you. I don't need you. Think you need your weapons? I don't need any of that. That's why I gave you my stick, because I don't need weapons.
Marakos.
Ma'arachot is from the word to arrange. So it means the formations of the army. The army is arranged in battalions or in divisions, however they attack, right? Not, one nice and rows. That's because they're arranged. That's why we call the army of Israel Ma'arachot Yisrael. So Elohei Ma'arachot Yisrael means the God. I come with the name of the God of the hosts, the God of the formations of Israel, which you have blasphemed. Now going continues. Hayom hazeh, this day, yesagercha Hashem biyadi. God will close you into my hand. It means, doesn't close like closing a door, but it means to be delivered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then everything's going to be closed around you. In modern Hebrew, when you extradite someone, you use that word, lahasgir. So, God is going to give you into my hand, v'hiki sicha, and I will strike you. V'hiki sicha, I will strike you. V'hasiroisi, and I will remove. You with me, Dylan? V'hiki sicha, and I will strike you. V'hasiroisi es roishcha me'alecha, and I will remove your head from upon you. V'nasati, and I will give peger. Peger is the dead bodies, the carcasses. Machane Pislishtim, of the camp of the Philistines, those who will be killed today. Hayom hazeh, on this day. So those carcasses of the camp of the Philistines, I will give them la'oif hashamayim, to the birds of the heavens, ulechayas haaretz, and to the beasts of the land. It sounds very similar to what the Goliath is threatening to do to David. David is threatening to do to him.
Yeah,
Only David says a few differences. First of all, he says, I'm going to kill you. And then, not only you, but the whole camp we're going to lose. And then I will give you to the head. Now, there's a slightly difference. He says, I'm going to give your dead bodies to the birds of the heavens and to the beasts of the earth. Whereas the Philistine is giving it to the birds of the heavens and to the animals of the field. And that's not the same thing, is it? Animals of fields are not the same thing as a beast of the earth.
Animals of the fields aren't typically carnivorous.
Right, exactly, 100%. Animals of the field sounds like horses and cows and sheep, and they're not carnivorous. They don't eat people. Whereas David seems to be something more normal, which is the wild beasts, means lions and bears that eat people.
Lions,
right?
bears, and tigers.
Right? The same ones that attack David for the sheep will eat the carcasses of the Philistines. Yeah? I would like to suggest that in Philistine culture, they were so into, what's the word?
Like physicality?
No.
The way a man.
They're so cruel, so into the part of their culture was to make things which are naturally
Not carnivorous.
not carnivorous, to make them into that.
They won't eat it. And their bodies
Well, it
can't
depends
digest it.
how. Well, I know in England, for example, they used to add meat to the cow's diet, which is where mad
I've
cow
heard of
disease
it, yeah.
came from.
What?
Where what?
Whoa.
Mad cow disease
Matt, really?
came from adding meat to the cow's diet because any genetic problems became worse because they were eating grass up.
And what about like field mice? They used to do that thing where they put mice in a cage and put them on some people's stomach, and then they burned the cage and they ate through the stomach.
Whoa.
Oh,
Have you heard
yeah.
that
It's
torture?
like
Just to look at what?
1984.
So it's like they put a bird cage with a rat on your stomach,
also
and then they lit the
1984
cage on fire, and then the only way the rat can go is to eat through you.
How do they do this?
Torture.
Torture.
Torture is
Yeah. Okay. No, but that's a rat that would eat. That's carnivorous.
Yeah.
Right? Here we're talking about sheep,
Cows and
right?
sheep.
So I don't know, Lo there,
Rat
but okay. But anyway, I see the difference. What exactly the difference is, I don't know. Vayedu kol haaretz, vayedu kol haaretz, and the whole world will know, or the whole area will know, Yesh Elokim Yisrael, that there is a God in Israel. When we defeat you guys, vayedu kol hakahal hazeh, and all this congregation will know. And who's that referring to? So that could be trying to include the Jews as well. There's the first group. The first sentence, and the whole world will know that there's God in Israel, is not directed to Jews, because Jews know that already. Right? The second one is referring to the Jews. The whole community means even us Jews who believe in God, right? But they think you only win battles by the number of weapons you have. It's not true. They will know. That not by the sword, ubechanis, and by the spear, Yehoshia Hashem, that does God save. God doesn't need them to save. Ki Hashem hamilchama, because the war is God's. No.
You get no siren.
Okay?
Which word's war?
Milchama. War, battle, war. Okay? So, when I defeat you without using weapons of sword and spear, then you will know that not only is God in Israel, then even the Jews will know that God saves, doesn't need these to save. Good. The Nasan Eschem B'Yadenu, and then God will give you in our hands. Okay, that's David's end of David's speech. Lehaya. I'll just turn mine off. I have to turn the whole phone off.
I was gonna say you could just take your battery out.
I just turn it on.
It's not an app, it's just like a.
Just goes white and then stuck. The only way to continue is to turn the phone off.
It's smart.
I just turn it on airplane mode.
Okay. Vahaya, and it was Kikam Haplishti, when the Philistine got up. Now, I don't think it means he was sitting. It means, or maybe he was sitting during David's speech. I don't know. When the Philistine got up, Vayelech, and he went. Vayikrav, and he drew close. From the word karov.
Didn't he already do that?
Yeah, getting close. Likras David, towards David. Soon as the Philistines getting closer and closer, right? Vayemaher David. So David did something quickly. Maher, quickly. What did he do quickly? Ayoras. And he ran. Which way? Hama'aracha, towards the formations of Likras HaPlishti, towards it. By the way, he ran towards the Philistines, but not just towards the Philistine. It doesn't say that. It says he ran towards the Ma'aracha. The Ma'aracha is where the whole battleground. And David's ready not just to fight the Philistines, he's ready to fight all the Philistines. Vayishlach David, what did he do? He sent. What did he send? Es yada, his hand. How do you send your hand? It means he thrust his hand. El hakli, into the what's the kli? His utensil, the little pouch.
Getting some stones.
Which he's got his stones in. Vayikach misham, and he took from there even, one stone. Vayikala, and he slung it. So a kela is a sling shot. So the verb to put a stone in and go, right? That's called vayikala. Vayaches HaPlishti, and he struck the Philistine. El mitzcha, in his forehead.
Mitzah.
Metzach. This is your metzach, your forehead. So the stone hit him there. Now, why was there no armor there? It's a good question. You'd think he was. And we know he had a metal helmet, right?
We don't know that it wasn't how it could have hit the. It could have hit the armor.
Yes, but this look happened.
Maybe
And the stone was embedded in his forehead. So if he had armor there, it means the stone went through the armor.
Yeah.
Which is surprising that David managed to do a slingshot so powerful to go through this armor, which was meant to protect him from not just slingshots, it meant to protect him from arrows.
What if he was just really arrogant?
So if he
didn't put down his visor.
Well, it could be, but he wasn't. Ooh, it does say that we have to carry on downstairs. Why do you have it in first?
We're going
There's
downstairs.
a different sound. That's the real siren. It is.
That's a real sign.
Should we go downstairs or you?
Yeah, we have to go downstairs. That's the rules.
What's that?
Oh, right on the thing. We can continue. Okay, one second before we carry on. The point is that we want to know why was he not wearing his helmet. It said he was wearing his helmet. At least usually he was wearing his helmet. Was he still wearing his helmet? We don't know. You think that maybe he was so proud he wasn't scared about his helmet, right? It could be that the stone made a hole through the helmet.
Didn't we read that he actually had a visor on his helmet?
It would say that explicitly. It said, because okay, he had something, what we would call a visor on his knees. Right? That's what it said. It said the word for visor on his knees. So that's that knee protection. Right? It's reasonable if he had knee protection, he had a helmet protection over here as well. Right? So one understanding is that the stone actually went through the metal, which would be miraculous. Or that he was distracted and the visor went up. You know, he was looking at the rockets that were
The
going
helmet
up.
could have like just came to there, right? As well. So if he had
No, it probably would have gone down to his eyes. Right? And you could see through him. This would have been protected.
You're allowed to.
Okay, and then look what happens. Vayipol alpanav outza. Vayipol alpanav outza. Where's everybody else? Moshe Millstone, where are you? He fell on his face
It means
to the ground.
that you are
Now, can we explain that in physics?
allowed to borrow from them.
If you're hit by a stone in your forehead, powerful enough to sink into your forehead, then it should have fallen back.
But like, what if
Even if he was running forward. But like, it's like if the stone is powerful enough to go through his head, it's what it says. You know, it might trip you up, right? So then your momentum of moving forward is just trip you forward.
okay, what about in like a boxing fight? Like people get knocked out and their whole heads go so jarred backwards and they'll still fall forward. Like
Really?
well, I mean you see it like they'll fall. And then even like what about if he gets like hit in the head and then he like catches himself for a second and then he falls.
We don't know that he was running even. Didn't say he was.
But you said he was coming towards you.
Yeah, David was running.
Yeah, so
he was just walking towards it.
He walking towards. It doesn't need to be running.
Like, sure.
Right? And
Are you saying he went like that?
should have gone back.
Forward. Yeah,
It says he fell forward.
Yeah, but he should have gone back at
He
least.
should have fell back.
Like, if
There's a stone coming there.
he was walking forward, it's your head that's going to go back. It's not like even like a punch would take you off your feet and he would still fall forward.
It wasn't just a stone. It wasn't just a stone went into his head.
Yeah, so it's like what about like someone walking forward and getting shot in the head?
You think it would fall forward? You think so? Wow.
But it's still like it's only one small impact of their head. The head's like a bobblehead. It'll go back like
So the head will go back and he'll die.
yeah, and then he can still fall forward.
This guy didn't actually die yet. Vayechezak David min Plishti, and David was stronger than the Philistine. Chazak was stronger than the Philistine. Bakele, just with a slingshot. Ube'eben and a stone means all he had was a slingshot and a stone, and yet he was stronger than Philistine. That's trying to point to you. Vayechezak Plishti, and he struck the Philistine. Vayemisehu, and he killed him. Now, we've had before that the word to kill doesn't always mean that he's dead yet.
Right.
It means that he struck him in a way that would eventually kill him. He would die from it, but he wasn't yet dead.
Right.
Cherev ain't biyad David. David has no sword in his hand. So that's putting out two things. Well, we know that he used a slingshot to kill him, but if he doesn't have a sword, and what's he going to do now? The guy's not dead yet.
Wow.
Have a sword, right? So how's he going to finish him off? Well, it's not very difficult because he doesn't have a sword, but Goliath has got a sword, and Goliath is not any position to prevent David taking his sword. That's the puzzle continues. Yoras David. So David ran because he doesn't want the Philistine to get up and
recover,
right? And he's not dead yet. He's just had a death blow, right? So David runs. He stood next to the Philistine. And he took his sword. He took the Philistine sword. And he drew it mitara from its sheath.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Come. Just finished. Oh, you missed the
whole.
You missed the climax.
The climax. The climax was, it says, let's go over it. David, the stone went into his forehead and he fell forward, not backwards. So in the discussion, we would expect him to fall backwards from the impact, but he didn't, he fell forward. David was stronger than the Philistine, just using his slingshot and a stone, and he struck the Philistine a death blow, which means a blow that would eventually kill him. He would die from it. Wasn't dead yet. Cherev Embia, David doesn't have a sword. So what did he do? Yoras David ran. He stood next to the Philistine. He took his sword, the Philistine sword. He pulled it out, mitara from its sheath, and he finished him off. If you remember when Yonasan was with his armor bearer climbing up that cliff, it says that the armor bearer hit them, and Yonasan finished them off. He uses this word. Moses doesn't mean to kill; it means to give the final blow.
So basically, it's incapacitate thinking.
Right.
And when it said that it struck in the forehead, where does it say death blow?
Vayemisehu on the word. Vayemisehu here. Vayemisehu, and he killed him. But it doesn't mean killed in the sense he's dead already, right? He's only chopping his head off is what finally finished him off. Yichras ba'es roishai, and he severed his head with it, meaning with the sword. Yiru Pelishtim, and the Philistines saw Kimeis Giboram, that their mighty one had died. As soon as he saw that David's got the head in his hand and that the mighty one was on the floor dead, Vayanusu, and they fled. Okay? That will be tomorrow's story.